guys, welcome to 2026. If you're new here, my name is Jaycee. I'm a college student, fitness instructor, and personal trainer, and this is my monthly reset series. I'm bringing it back for 2026, and I'm super excited to kick this off with the January 2026 reset. This one's a big one. We have so much reflecting to do, resetting, planning. I made a scrapbook, I made a vision board. There is just so much content in this video that I am super excited to share with you. So without further ado, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do so already. I post so much content and I have so many exciting updates in this video. So stick around, watch all the way through the end because I promise these are announcements you don't want to miss. Without further ado, let's go ahead and start reflecting. So to me, reflection is kind of like a night routine. There are a few steps for self-care that sometimes are a little tedious to do, but they make everything completely worth it. And so that's what I'm hoping to do as we end out 2025 and go into 2026. Is I want to do some things and 2025 off strong so that tomorrow we can start 2026 with a vision and with a plan. Okay, so this past year I used the Daily Planner by Hannah Ashton. I talk about this in so many of my videos. This is my favorite planner, my holy grail. And we're gonna just go ahead and start with the one I used last year. Guys, I made the cutest freaking cover page. I don't think I'm gonna do a cover page this year. That seems just a little daunting for me right now, but I'm in love with the one I made last year. The way these planners are set up they are 6-month planners, so every 6 months you use a new one, and I honestly love that because I feel like me setting more like short-term goals really helps me for my overarching. So just looking at last year, in July I had some big goals. I wanted to build a YouTube community. I felt like I got a little stronger, but I had to take a bit of a social media break myself, so I wanted to spend intentional time with friends. I was incredibly good at this. Yes, go Jaycee. Wanted to work on healing my relationship with food. I'm not sure if we got there quite yet, but we're gonna work on it. And I wanted to complete 50% of a Bible in a year plan. And I wanted to have $2,000 in my savings. I got close. I got really close. So let's just reflect. Here's my little reflection page. Isn't it super cute? So my favorite moments of 2026, of these past 6 months. One, I was awarded Fitness Instructor of the Year at my job. And I got a promotion, that was super fun. And it felt very like gratifying and just like, I've worked for this, I've achieved this, it paid off. I moved in with my girlfriend. That was really exciting for me. It was a huge step in our relationship. And I'm proud to say 6 months later, I think that it was the right step. We're doing great. On that note, we hit our 2-year anniversary, which is crazy. How have I been dating this girl for 2 years? That's insane to me. Oh my God. Another of one of my favorite moments was that I got to create a new fitness format at my gym with my friend and coworker Tesla. We created a step aerobics class called Hip Hop Step. It's so much fun. I've been working on it all winter break, just making new dances for it. And so we created that the past 6 months. We launched 3 pop-ups, and then in 2026 we're launching 3 weekly classes on the schedule, which is huge. And then finally, one of my other favorite moments was I just went to New Orleans with my family for Christmas, and it was such a good trip. I had so much fun. The food was amazing. I had some, I'm not gonna say this right. I had incredible crab gratin. I think I said gratin. I don't know how to pronounce it. We went to Bourbon Street. We went to Jackson Square. We went on a gator tour, saw the above ground tombs. It was incredible. I loved it so much. For my wins for these past 6 months, I got that promotion at work. I'm very grateful for it. I'm very lucky to have it. And does it make my life harder sometimes? Yes, but it has opened up so many new doors for me, and I'm so happy about it. I also made new friends the past 6 months. I feel like that's a big win for me because I kind of struggle in that area. Like sometimes like I will keep connections superficial and not reach out and take the bigger step, and I need to get better at that. And so I feel like I did get better at that. And then I tried new workouts. I tried like yoga sculpt kind of style, like a power yoga. I tried reformer Pilates, hip hop step. Like I tried new ways of moving my body that feel good to me. For kind of what I want to work on next 6 months, I want to find more discipline, which we'll talk more about that later, and I want to eat a little bit cleaner. Life balance. All right, guys, these numbers are skewed. So it's out of 5. I'm not saying 5 is a good thing, but I'm saying 5 is a 5. I would say work was a 5 out of 5 the past 6 months because I excelled. Work was a high, but I think work took over my life, and I'd like to not do that. next year. My personal, I'd rate it at a 3. I feel like just as a person, I improved a lot. I've been in therapy consistently for 2 years, and so I think I'm really starting to I'm finally starting to see the changes, and it's not just Elsie telling me, oh yeah, like this is different about you. Like I'm seeing it now. So that's nice. Wellness too. I guess we can talk about it now. I lost weight. I lost 50 pounds in like 2023, 2024, my first year of college. Sophomore year I kept it off, and then the last 8 months I have gained it back. Not fun, you know? And I know why I've gained it back. There's just a few reasons. The biggest ones is that like in 2024 going into 2025, I came home for a month and I was like, I'm not gonna use a gym, I'm just gonna do Pilates. And because I did not strength train, I didn't do cardio, I regressed so much in skill. And I got myself out of the habit of working out. And then when I came back in January, I really wanted to focus on running, but it was cold outside and I was skipping my workouts. And when I skipped my workouts, I would often skimp on nutrition because working out motivates me to eat better. There's a little bit of correlation between those two for me. And so I just kind of let my habits crumble. In 2025, I was under a lot of stress and pressure. I was trying to become a personal trainer. I was teaching a higher class load. Like there were just so many different puzzle pieces that made me this just ball of stress. And I gained the weight back because that's what I do when I'm stressed is I don't stick to my habits and I put on weight. So we'll talk about that for 2026 because I have a plan, a healthy plan, a sustainable plan to get me back into that because I did it once, I can do it again. For social, 3 out of 5. I think I could have been better. I was great with my friends. And Elsie and our relationship's fantastic. However, I feel like we kind of went through a roommates phase, which is typical. We moved in together. There was a lot of like figuring out like how to live and coexist with one another and find that independence. But I feel like we have stopped actively dating each other and I'd like to start that. And before anyone is like, well, that's just what happens when you move in together. You shouldn't have moved in together. It was the right choice. Like there were so many other factors at play, and moving in with my girlfriend for me was the right choice for my relationship. I think it strengthened our relationship. However, we kind of got to pivot and date each other again. Finances, I think I did a 3 out of 5. I thought I did so much worse on my finances in 2025 than I actually thought. And then I was like resetting some stuff earlier today and I did not do as bad as I thought. I didn't do as good as I wanted, but I didn't do as bad as I thought. So I'm gonna give it a good middle ground. Hobbies, 2 out of 5. I crocheted a bit, kind of lost that in the last 6 months. I started puzzles, I tried reading. I'd like to find more consistency. Welcome to the planning section. You guys have seen my vision board. Yeah, let's kind of chat about that vision board. Let's get a picture up here. So biggest things on the vision board. 1, I want to be fit. I want to lose a bit of weight. I want to feel good in my body. And we're going to talk about that in a second, okay? I want to be an amazing teacher. I want to be in the moment socially. I want to eat cleaner. I want to find crafts. I want to focus on God and be intentional in my time with God. Yeah, that's kind of it. And there's this quote in my vision board that says, fall in love with becoming the best version of yourself. And I think that really resonates with me. My word of the year is discipline. And the reason I was kind of going between consistency or discipline. And I put discipline because to me, discipline is finding the motivation to do things even when you don't want to do them. And that is something I really need to work on. I struggle big time with executive dysfunction. If I don't want to do something, I'm not going to do it. And that hinders me in lots of different ways. And I want to work past that this year and do the hard things that I know are good for me and will make me better and make me stronger as a person, and just kind of work through this. So discipline is our word of the year. Last year was grow. I think 2024 was invest. So I like to find just words that help. Here's our new planner. It's the daily planner again, but this is a black one. So I did a coffee planner beginning of 2026. We did the sky planner at the end of it, black. And then I think we'll do white in the middle, unless she releases a new color, which I'm really hoping she does. It's time for the 6-month goals. Look at how cute this page is. She's so adorable. We have 5 big goals for the first 6 months of 2026. My first one is I want to do 75 hard, 365 for the full 6 months. So this is kind of something, I don't think I've mentioned this on here before. I'm doing 75 hard, but I want to do it for the whole year. And the reason I want to do it for the whole year is because the habits in 75 hard are habits that I just think are so important for my life. So there's drinking a gallon of water daily. Water, amazing, incredible for you. 2 workouts a day. That one you're probably like, ooh, that's iffy. I'm not doing one of them outside. That's not my reality, but I'm gonna do 2 because that can be 45 minutes of lifting and 45 minutes of cardio, which to me fulfills me. It can be going on a walk with Elsie for 45 minutes and spending 45 minutes practicing my hip hop step. Like, there are ways that I can make it sustainable. It can also be doing a lift for 45 minutes and then teaching a cycle class that night. It's kind of like, the 2 workouts is more of a formality for me. I get that in anyways. I just want to be consistent and like well programmed. The other habits, no alcohol. I'm not 21, and even when I turn 21, I'm not planning on drinking. That's not an issue for me. But sticking to a diet, we're gonna talk about further down. It's further down the list. Taking a progress photo every day. I guess it's a formality, but I just think that that challenge really represents so many of the habits I'm trying to create. And so I'm gonna do it for the full 365 days of the year. I'm excited about it. My second goal is I want to lose 24 pounds in the first 6 months of 2026. Now that is 1 pound per week. And I think that this is a realistic and a manageable goal for me when I take into account my lifestyle, my weekly schedule, and like safety. I don't want to go as low as 0.5, like half a pound per week, because I just don't think that that's enough of a deficit for my body to make change. And I don't want to go as low as 2 pounds per week because I don't think that's healthy or sustainable for me. So I think 1 pound a week, the goal of losing 24 pounds the first 6 months, I think that's a realistic goal and I think I can achieve it. My third goal is that I want to read the entire Bible in 75 days. Now for 75 hard, one of the things, I forgot to say it, 10 pages of a nonfiction book each day. Well, I did the math and I could read the Bible in 75 days. And so I'm gonna read 10 pages of a book each day. It's not necessarily gonna be nonfiction. I just wanna get into the habit of reading. For the first 75 days, we are reading the Bible. So I'm excited about that. I think that'll be very fulfilling for me. My fourth goal is that I wanna stick to a consistent workout routine for a full 6 months. I'm gonna make one routine and we're sticking to that. That is the workout routine that we're doing. And then finally, I'm gonna cut out eating out for a full 6 months. Really for a full year, but that's kind of the diet piece, is that I don't wanna eat out anymore. And there's so many reasons why. I feel like that was something that really contributed to my weight gain, was that I laxed on my workouts, laxed on my habits, and I was like, oh, well, I'll just eat out. It's been a crappy day already. And I spent so much money eating out, and that is money that I could have saved up for just something down the line, like a post-grad apartment or car repairs. And so I am not going to spend any money on eating out after January 6th in 2026. And why am I saying after January 26th or after January 6th? Because my girlfriend's coming down to Texas. We're doing a bunch of stuff here and then we have to road trip back up, and there is just not a great way to do this trip avoiding eating out entirely. So I'm gonna give myself some leeway. There are a few exceptions here. So with the no eating out, the only exceptions are if we're out of town. So that would be this trip right here, and then we're going to Nashville for spring break. Like, there's just no getting around that. If it is Elsie or I's birthday, we can go out to dinner that night. Anniversary, we're gonna cook at home. Or if it is like a friend's special event. So if our friend is having a birthday dinner, we'll go for that. If our friend's having a graduation dinner, just something like big and momentous. What we're not gonna do is say, oh, let's just go get a group of girls together and go to dinner. Or, oh, Elsie and I just wanna do a date night for dinner. Nope. The other thing I'm doing is a no self-spend. I saw this woman on TikTok, you've probably seen her as well, who only made one purchase every month. Freaking love that. I was like, I think I should do that. Like, I think it would be really, really good for me to do, you know? So 1-ish purchase per month, about 2 purchases per month. One of them is gonna be like a clothing, gym clothes purchase. As I lose weight, I'm gonna have to replace things. And so I think that once a month, just saying, okay, like, what do I need? Let's replace it. And it's not necessarily restricting myself to one thing, but it's gonna force myself to be intentional about how am I making this purchase each month. I do have a clothing budget that allows me just a bit of leeway. My mom and I have done a really great job budgeting years in advance for like what might I need. And so I think like the way to do it is to be intentional about what I purchase and like think about it before I buy it rather than impulse buy. The other thing, the real thing, is the self-purchase. So this to me would be, okay, I'm gonna think of like the one thing on my mind. I really want one of those like wax sticks for the hair, or like a little like water spray bottle to like help do my hair. or like necklaces or rings. Just those kind of things. And I could go out and I could buy all that right now, but that would be an impulse purchase. And do I really want that? Have I really been thinking about that? So what I'm gonna do is set $10 aside out my spending money every single week, and I'm gonna save it up for a month. And at the end of the month, I'm gonna look at kind of just the wish list of things I've accumulated over the month, and I'm just gonna say which one is something that I have still been just thinking about. Like, is there something I still genuinely really want from this list? And if yes, there is, then I'll purchase it, and that will be my purchase for the month. If I've realized that none of those things are things I actually want, then I'm just gonna roll the money over for the next month. And then any money that I don't spend each month will get rolled over for the next month. But I think it's a great way to be more just mindful about purchases and have kind of that delayed gratification and also use up what I have. Now, this doesn't apply to like toiletries or makeup products or clothes. Obviously, I'm going to make just like the clothing purchase each month. That's not necessarily restricting me to one item because I'm trying to lose 24 pounds this month. So if I get to a place where it's like, crap, I need new jeans, I'm going to buy the jeans that I need. If I need shoes, I'm gonna buy shoes. If I need makeup products, I'm going to buy those makeup products. What I'm not gonna buy are things like candles, jewelry, water bottle, hair wax stick until the end of the month if I really, really want it. And the final part of this video, we're gonna talk about my January specific plannings. This is where all the announcements are. Okay, so my huge big goals for January, kind of talking about what we just did with the 6-month goals, is I'm gonna be consistent with 75 hard, calling it now. I'm gonna lose 4 pounds, okay? We're starting small. I want to stick to the not eating out and the no self-spend. So we're gonna stick to those things. My mini goals, kind of breaking it down with the Bible plan of reading about roughly 10 pages per day. I'd like to get through Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, and Numbers. I think that's a good goal. This is something I wrote down as a mini goal. I want to take good notes. I just feel like I always start off strong the first week of school taking good notes, and then I completely slack off. So we're gonna take good notes all semester this year. I want a 31-day Duolingo streak. I am so on and off consistent with Duolingo. I've gotten better at it, but like I need to get better on the weekends. And then I want to finish the puzzle sitting in my kitchen. Kind of my action steps for 75 hard consistency. I think planning my workouts, planning my meals ahead would be helpful, and then finding a routine is gonna really help me achieve this. For losing 4 pounds, 75 hard is gonna help me. Clean eating and like sticking to the no eating out is gonna help, and so is like just moving more throughout the day, like being conscious about like when am I driving my car to campus versus when am I walking. And then for the no eating out and no spending, I think letting Elsie help keep me accountable is really gonna help me. For the announcements. Okay, so we have this little projects page, and I have 4 big projects coming to social media in January. The first one, oh my gosh, this is so weird to say. We're gonna start smallest to biggest, okay. I am going to be documenting every day of this 75 hard challenge on TikTok. My TikTok is at Jaycee Spivey 3 if you want to follow along, but I'm not really going to talk about it on YouTube. It's all going to be on TikTok. So if you're interested in what am I doing every day, how does my day change day to day, how am I finding that routine, go follow my TikTok. It's going to be literally every single day for the entire year. That's a little daunting to me, but we're doing it. I'm super excited. Fitness workouts are coming back to the YouTube channel page. We tried it last year in 2025. We had a bunch of bugs we had to work out. I have got it down solid this year. So this is called Fit Stew. Every single Wednesday, a free YouTube workout video is going to be released. As I've said in so many other vlogs, I'm an ACE certified group fitness instructor and ACE certified personal trainer. And I'm bringing to you strength workouts, HIIT, Pilates, sculpt, yoga, even a little bit of step. So go follow every single Wednesday. You will get a free workout video. Do I have further plans for this? Yes. We're gonna start here for right now. And finally, my biggest announcement that some people already know and have probably already guessed is I'm launching a podcast, and it comes out January 5th, 2026. This is called the Group Fitness Guide. I talk about every single thing group fitness, whether you are an instructor or just a group fitness enthusiast. And it has been so much fun to record and edit for you guys. And my very first episode talking about my instructor journey, how I became an instructor, and how I was originally rejected from being an instructor at first, comes out January 5th. So it is available on Spotify. It is called The Group Fitness Guide. It's super cute. I'm gonna put a little pop of the podcast up here. I'm super excited. Go show it some love. Oh my gosh. And there's also a Google form in the episode descriptions if you have any sort of like episode suggestion ideas, questions, comments, topics you want me to cover. I would love to hear it, so go fill out that form. That is it for the January reset. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you had an incredible time, and I hope that you are able to reset and find your just kind of word for the year, your mantra, your goals. Comment them down below if you know them already. I would love to hear what your goals are, and thank you for watching. I will see you guys in the next vlog. Bye-bye.